Yay, Tada! We are back with another video. The page it is called South African Late News. Rata Rata is a totally biased judge, and if you still don't see that, I something is wrong like Andalak. I would like you to listen to this audio and then we'll discuss the Sezumio case in much more detail. But this audio should convince you that this judge is totally biased and unhinged. Listen to this.
Zungu said that firearm was thrown into the water, into the river, which shot Shimon. And that was not disputed by any of the councils here.
Manje ithi inkantolo uZungu wathi ke isibhamu lesi esasisetshenzisiwe ekuthizeni sedubule uSinako basilahla emanzini noma emfuleni futhi ithi inkantolo abameli abakaze bakuphike.
And Zungu says Sinako was shot by Gwabeni.
Bathi futhi
That
uZungu
was also never contested or disputed by all councils here.
bathi futhi uZungu washo khona njalo ukuthi ke uSinako wadutshulwa uGwabeni bese inkantolo futhi yasho futhi ukuthi bonkana abameli abakaze bakuphike lokho namhlanje bakunquphise lokho. Bathi yakukhumbula yini ufakazi lobo
When Zungu was saying it.
ngesikhathi uZungu bekakhuluma.
ubufakazi bazungu ngiyabukhumbula
Okay,
and
no, that's okay. That's okay.
Yes, I do remember the evidence of Mr. Zungu. Besithi inkantolo kulungile.
bengade ngifisa inkantolo ukuthi ngiyichazele ukuthi ubufakazi bazungu bukanjani.
I would like to explain to the court as to
quoting
how
what I remember Zungu said, and I am saying he said that. The councils will dispute that if they want to. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying Zungu said that firearm slashed Manzini in Fulwe was never disputed. And then Zungu further said, you know what, I don't want to talk about that, the death of Snongo. He actually said that also.
isibhamu esabula Sinako asazi sashoniswa phi mhlawumbe salahlwa khona emfuleni uyasazi yena kodwa uSinako udubuleke 2017 yena.
we don't know what
Am I
happened to the
correctly
firearm.
quoting Zungu, Mr. Balui, Mr. Numan?
It is correct, but I've got reservation. I'll
Yeah,
I'll
fine,
leave
fine.
matters
I'm
for
just saying-
argument. Yes.
Am I
I've
correctly
taken note.
quoting you?
No, I've taken note of what the court is
Fine,
saying.
fine,
Yes.
Right.
Uzizwela. Urata refused to hear what a witness wanted to say. Rata refused to give Musbi a chance to debunk that version by Constable Zungu. So Musbi is not allowed to defend himself in his own case. Rata alleged that Uzungu said to Ulo Ukwabini, that gun that was used to shoot Snago, I thought it was thrown in the water or whatever. And Rata says that evidence by Zungu was not challenged by any of the defense lawyers. But now the problem is that Musibia was trying to do just that. He was just trying to give the version of his own, or to try and to defend himself, because he knew something about that statement that was said by Zungu. But Rata said, no, I do not want to hear what you want to say. So for me, that on its own is a problem, because Musibia is not allowed to defend himself. So what is the point of Musibia being on the stand? It shows me one thing, which Urata has already concluded that Musibia is guilty and he does not want to hear anything that comes out of his mouth. So now it begs the question, what's the point of this case? If Musibia is not allowed to state whatever that he wanted to say, then this process is just a waste of time. So for me, what Rata did there is highly irregular, because he never allowed Musibia to say what he wanted to say. It means that Rata, on his mind, he believes that Constable Zungu is telling the truth and everyone else is lying. But the problem is that Advocate Baloyi failed to do two things. To prove what Constable Zungu is telling the truth, Baloyi should have brought us the AVL of Constable Zungu 1. Secondly, Baloyi should have brought us the Section 205 Constable Zungu, so that we can see his telephone records. We know for a fact that on the day when Sesame was shot, Constable Zungu was driving a police car. And what do we know about the police cars? We know for a fact that police cars are fitted with the AVL. An AVL is some sort of a tracker, so it monitors your movement. So if Balo had brought the AVL of Constable Zungu, we would know for sure if he was at that hostel on the day. We would know what he drove to that shop to buy alcohol at after 3 p.m. or whatever. But the fact is, Baloyi failed to bring that AVL because it did not support his narrative of an intruder. The AVL showed that Zungu was lying. It showed that he never went to the hostel. That is why Baloyi did not bring that AVL, because it did not support his narrative. Secondly, the telephone records of Constable Zungu were not brought before court. We know for a fact that Constable Zungu had a cell phone because it is alleged that he was phoned by Musibia when he was in Mpumalanga or wherever. But that telephone record of Zungu was not brought before court because it does not support the narrative of a state or which Zungu was at the hostel. If Zungu was at the hostel, the cell phone record or the cell phone of Constable Zungu was going to ping at that hostel at the time when they were allegedly there in Kwabeni's house. But Ubaloyi is playing the state, he's playing the accused, he's playing everyone, he's lying to everyone because he wants to find these guys guilty at all cost. But there's one thing that we already know about Zungu. His own father, Absalom Zungu, said his son lied in court. He said his son told him he only testified in court because he was promised a promotion within the SAPS if he implicated all the accused in the Mayor case. So Zungu only testified in court because he was expecting to be rewarded with the promotion or whatever. So Zungu testified because he had ulterior motives. That is according to his father. So we know that Zungu lied in court in order to benefit. So the 5 men that are before court, ayikho into ababoshwele yona because sesiyazi ukuthi uZungu is lying, and Ubaloyi knows it for a fact. That is why lento engishilo sazilethanga AVL section 205. So now this judge indaba yala ayikho ngempela, because now we know for a fact that he supports the state's narrative, and there's nothing that Umusibiya will say that will convince him otherwise. So the testimony of Musibiya for me is just a waste of time because of this biased judge. And remember that on Thursday, Rata did the same thing. He blocked Musibiya from answering a question or responding to what Rata had said earlier. Remember that after Musibiya had done testifying on Thursday, Rata said he find it bizarre that Gininda would torture Musibiya during the day and then later on take him to his family in KZN. And on their way to KZN, Gininda does not allow him to drink water or refresh or whatever. He said he can't believe that because it is not rational. But then when Musibiya wanted to respond to that, the judge said, no, I was not asking a question, I was merely making a statement. So now if you're not allowing a witness to respond to your statement, what's the point of this case? Because Musibiya was going to clarify with how that happened, because the judge is saying he find it bizarre. Then Musibiya was going to explain so that the matter is no longer bizarre in your mind. But the judge said, no, I was just merely making a point. So what's the point of Musibiya being there in court if the judge won't listen to him? So this thing of this case, ayiko. It is just a waste of time because the judge is just a rogue judge. The judge is unhinged. The judge is totally out of his senses, and If you cannot see that, angazi ukuthi which case are you watching. The judge is totally biased against the accused. And this thing of not allowing the defense to speak comes from 2023, 2024, when Mngome Zulu was still in the case. Remember that Shololo also complained about the same thing in the past when she was trying to defend her clients. Then the judge would object, interrupt her, and so on. And he did the same thing to Chulo, Advocate Mngome Zulu. But Mngome Zulu was different because he challenged Judge Rata at one stage. He told him in his face that you are colluding with the state. You are entering the arena. I think the word that he used, he said, you are descending into an arena, meaning that Judge Rata was becoming more involved in the case, of which is not allowed. As a judge, you're supposed to sit there and be like a referee or an umpire. Listen from both sides with Batin. Listen. And thereafter, once the case has been closed, you make a judgment. But in this case, the judge is refusing to listen to the witness. The same witness is also accused number 1. So it was highly irregular for Judge Rata to not allow Mosibia to state his case, because as a judge, you are there for that reason, to listen to what the accused is saying, for you to arrive at the good judgment or outcome. So what's the next option for the defense? Obviously, the judge is going to find accused number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guilty of unaliving Sinzomenyu. That is a fact. Now we can see that Judge Rata is moving to that direction. And whatever the accused are going to say going forward, it is a waste of time, because the judge has already concluded that they are guilty. And I am disappointed that there are no bodies like LPC. They do not condone this terrible behavior of Judge Rata. They're just quiet and watching. But when Advocate Tefo said a few things, they were quick to charge him and then ultimately disbar him. So now Advocate Tefo can no longer practice as a lawyer because of LPC. But the same LPC is just quiet when this judge is being rogue. I know that judges are not accountable to LPC, but they comment whenever a judge says something. They make it a point. I'm talking about other cases, not this case. But when it comes to this particular judge, Urata, they are quiet. But you can clearly see that his behavior is unbecoming of a judge. In actual fact, he's behaving like a thug. That's to put it lightly. Remember when Mngome Zulu was sick? I think it was last year, December 9th or 10th, just a day before he passed away. The same judge said he saw Mngome Zulu in court representing other accused. So he was implying that Mngome Zulu lied about being sick. That was his statement indirectly. The following day, it is announced that Advocate Mngome Zulu has lost his life. And Rata never apologized. He never said a thing. If he was a decent human being, he would have said, I would like to take this opportunity and apologize to Advocate Mngome Zulu and his family for doubting that he was sick. I'd like to apologize for accusing him of lying indirectly. But no, he did not say that, because he is not a normal person. He's not a decent person. He's just a rogue judge. That's what he is. And then Mngome Zulu was laid to rest. He did not even bother to go to his funeral. That's why I saluted Ramosepile and Nxumalo, because at least Mngome Zulu was given a good send off by them. But the judge and obviously Vaseline did not bother to send their final wishes or whatever. But that's beside the point. my main issue here is that when Ngomazulu was sick, Rata said he's lying. He said he saw him in court, and nobody challenged him. The LPC were quiet. He said nothing. Clearly, this judge is not the judge to be in this case because he's a biased judge. He's unhinged. He's delusional. And then remember that the day when Mnisi wanted to participate in the Comrade Marathon, he made this whole hullabaloo and he was angry. He said, I'm just paraphrasing, he said, a white lawyer would never ask me this stupid question because he's professional, meaning that Nisi, because of his skin color, is asking a wrong question. He said a white lawyer would not ask for a permission to run a comedy marathon during the trial, of which was a terrible statement to say. And to prove the point, he had to apologize the very next day because of the outcry that was within the country. So we have seen from 2023 that this judge is a terrible judge. He's a bad judge to say the least. But LPC and JSE, they are quiet and just watching for this trial to go through. And I feel sorry for the accused because now they're going to be found guilty. So all the troubles and the efforts that they are putting in order to defend themselves are just going to waste because we have such a judge. And the other thing that he said, remember that Advocate Tefo was in, I think it was in Alexandra Magistrate Court where Lieutenant General Kumalo was attending his case. Mshololo was there as well. So Mshololo was not in the Sensumwa case. He was there defending Kumalo, the same Kumalo that appeared in the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. So Rata made some stupid side comments about that case. Advocate Tefo went to that court and asked the judge or the magistrate that he wanted to be the friend of the court. And Rata thought that was funny or it was stupid. He made comments and said it was a comic relief that someone like Advocate Tefo would ask for such a role. He said that role is specifically reserved for experts in that field. But the same AfriForum, in the sense of my case, they are the friends of the court because they are there representing the interest of the Mayor family. So it's not something different that Tefo was doing in that other case, but just Rata found it that it was comic relief. And remember that as a judge, you are not supposed to talk about other cases that you are not involved in. So you can see that this man, he does things that are highly irregular, yet he still prides himself for his long service. He says he's got over 50 years experience on the bench, but what comes out of his mouth, it is revolting to say the least. But anyway, the case will resume on Monday, and Umusibia will continue to be cross-examined. I think now is going to be cross-examined by Advocate Mshololo, the defense lawyer for accused number 5. Remember that Mshololo was not in court on Wednesday and Thursday, so he did not have a chance to listen to the record. So over the weekend, she will listen to that, and then on Monday, start her own cross-examination of accused number 1. And I think it's going to be a very short cross-examination because accused number 1 is a client of Umnis, so Mshololo should not be asking too many questions. Once Mshololo is done, then Advocate Baloyi, aka Uvaseline, will now do cross-examination for the state. He will try to rebuff whatever that Umusibia had said earlier. And I think, knowing Gurata, he will not interrupt Baloyi because that's his favorite advocate there in the case. So you'd expect that Rata will be quiet this time. He won't say a word up until Vaseline is done with his cross-examination. But I'm sure Musibia will handle Baloyi with ease because we know that Musibia is innocent. The only reason he confessed was because he was being tortured. That is the only evidence that is there against Musibia, is that confession. But nothing else link him with this case. How do I know that? Well, one, the DNA excluded all 5 men from being in that house. The sample that was taken from the house, it indicated that none of them were matched. So the DNA is in favor of these guys, because if the DNA says it's not a match, it means you are not in that house. So that is one thing that is in their favor. But now the problem for Sibiya is that fake confession, which was admitted by Rat. But we know why he confessed. So Ubaloyi will try and mention that on Monday over and over because he's got no other evidence. But I trust in Umnisi because there are very good witnesses that will come after Musibia is done. And that one witness would be none other than Absalom Zungu, who is the father of this evil Constable Zungu. Absalom Zungu will tell the court that his son lied in court. And also, he will also expose Uprakatia Kininda, because remember that Kininda, it's alleged that he offered Absalom Zungu a trip overseas if he implicated accused number 1 and 2. So Absalom Zungu will be a crucial witness for the defense because he will discredit Uprakatia Kininda, who was the lead investigator for this case. He will also discredit the star witness, Constable Zungu, because he has already told Itali's son that Constable Zungu only testified because he was promised a job promotion within the SAPS. So I'm just hoping that once Sibiya is done, then more relevant witnesses will be called. Not Baloyi, that is to call every witness that is useless, but the defense must focus on the relevant witnesses only. But anyway, we shall see what will happen on Monday. But I expect that the cross-examination of Sibiya by Mshololo will be fairly short, and then Vaseline will take it from there. Thank you for watching.